We have Congressman Dusty Johnson here with us, of course. You just left the meeting. We're, of course, live with Chris Jansing. What happened?
This is not old D.C. where one guy or one gal gets to call the shot. This is a collaborative environment with lots of people with lots of opinions. So the speaker is talking through a variety of options. The conference is trying to come together and figure out which tactic is going to give us the best chance of getting done what we want to get done. Now, here's what I know. In the end result, we are not going to shut down government. We are going to make sure that we cut trillions of dollars in spending over the next few years, and we're going to make sure that we take care of these critical American priorities like the border and like cutting ridiculous regulations. It's going to be messy to get all that done, and we're trying to figure out what is the right way to sequence it.
I was going to say, when you say it like that, you make it sound easy, but the how has been particularly vexing for Republicans here. Is our understanding at least right that you guys are at the process of trying to pull this apart and do 3 separate votes, and that the debt ceiling is not part of it anymore?
Listen, there are a variety of options. The speaker is not telling people how it's going to be. He's giving them some options, and he's talking with the team about what is the best way to proceed. Now, keep in mind, this is our founders broke power into a lot of different corners on purpose. So just because House Republicans make a decision doesn't mean a lot. You got an incoming White House, you got an outgoing White House, you got a Senate, you got a House, and you got Republicans and Democrats. And that is why this is messy. This is not a flaw. This is a design aspect of the Constitution. But we are getting closer. I didn't mean to make it sound easy, because it is always going to be harder than I want it to be.
Certainly. But do you think that there will be a vote tonight, or is the government going to shut down?
There may be a technical shutdown over the course of, the evening or the weekend. Those generally don't mean anything. I mean, nobody gets furloughed. Nothing really happens to shut down the government if there is a few-hour lapse. It would be really unfortunate if we have a lengthy shutdown. I know everybody always loves shut it down. The reality is getting into a shutdown is easy. Getting out of a shutdown is hard.
And certainly for people, even around this building, I've had employees of this building say to me, do you know if we're going to be getting our paychecks? I mean, this is personal for a lot of people. We've seen you shuttling in and out of the speaker's office. Is the debt ceiling the sticking point? Like, what is, if there's one thing that needs to be overcome here, what is it?
I wish there was just one sticking point. Yeah. But you got 435 members of Congress, plus 2 different White Houses you're dealing with. Everybody's got a little bit different sticking point.
And I have a question here from Chris Jansing. I'm going to sort of be your translator. Yeah, Chris, please.
Marjorie Taylor Greene posted on social media on X that the government can stay shut down until inauguration as far as she's concerned. And we know that Donald Trump has been pondering whether or not it was just there should be a shutdown. Is that a reality that Congressman Johnson thinks Republicans are willing to accept, that members of the military don't get paid, that essential workers have to work but don't get paid? Congress does get paid, though. Is that a good look?
Yeah, Chris is making a point here that you have colleagues of yours like Marjorie Taylor Greene who have said just leave the government shut down, but it would mean members of the military, people in this building, wouldn't get their paycheck. Are you comfortable with that?
Listen, I've already said we shouldn't be shutting down the government. And listen, if it was a tactic that worked, if it was the kind of thing that we could actually use effectively to get rid of this ridiculous $2 trillion deficit we're running, then I'd say shut it down too. But the reality is, not only does it hurt real people, and it does, it also doesn't work. Shutdowns have never been a meaningful tool for leverage. And so what do we have to do? We got to be big boys. We got to be big girls. We do need to transform how we spend money in this town. We do need to avoid some of these dumpster fire fiscal cliff tactics. We are trying to get done what we got to get done in that room as a team.
Where's Trump in this right now?
President Trump is really involved in trying to make sure we get the right thing done. And I get it. He has a different way of doing business that makes some people uncomfortable. The reality is he is a force of nature. Now, is it a, at times, disruptive force of nature? Absolutely. But listen, business as usual is not working particularly well. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but the country has not been doing great with regard to spending in the last 40 years. We have run up deficits that are absolutely indefensible. And so he's going to roll in with some unorthodox tactics. And taken as a whole, they are going to be good in getting this country back on the right track.
I've got one more from Chris. Chris, go for it.
Does he think Elon Musk has a place in these negotiations?
Does Elon Musk have a place in these negotiations?
when you've got somebody who's a brilliant disruptor and innovator, like that's a voice that is willing to hear from. We should be willing to hear from. You know, does anybody here work for Elon Musk? No. You know, we work for the.
Do you think he knows that?
Yeah, we work for the Constitution, and we work for the citizens who send us here. And Elon Musk, obviously, I want the input from any American who thinks they know how to build a better mousetrap. We will be better because of the ideas that Elon and Vivek extend. But listen, it's brainstorming. Not every idea that comes out of a brainstorm is a good idea.
Maybe we don't brainstorm when we're on a government shutdown clock?
My observation is that deadlines are the only thing that drives achievement in this town. I understand people are uncomfortable with the deadline, but you know what? If we did our work a month ago or 6 months ago or 10 years ago, we wouldn't be in such an uncomfortable position today.